we return once again to the world of Josef K. Šlejhar, our well-known greatest pessimist, whose escapades in writing and in real life we have covered in episodes 183, 213, 232, 238, and 254. We will cover two collections published in succession, his 1899 In the Twilight of the Fireplace and his 1902 Darkness. The first story, In the Twilight of the Fireplace, is from a trip-time encounter and is basically Šlejhar complaining about his wife in novel form for 200 pages, saying that this story was told to him by a random anonymous person he met in the forest that one time, but we know better. Saying of his wife, in short, that she was moody, irrational, made foolish demands, wasted his money, and brought the entire farmstead to ruin, while emotionally tormenting him, being an unempathetic, hypocritical shrew. How far this is based on reality, one really can't say. The Stain has a man returning from a business trip to the city, while his wife is expecting, but finding the child had been born dead on arrival. This also seems to mimic an aspect of Šlejhar's past, and one has to wonder about his relationship to his own wife, since in this story the ever-anonymous, totally not self-insert narrator, when he finds the dead child laid on a table, begins to monomaniacally haunt the room, going back and forth to look at the spot where the body had lain once it is taken away, worshipping a blood stain left behind in a wood, but never once going to see, speak to, or even directly inquiring about his wife. Within the night fogs of March is the story of a man who hates his wife, seeing a pattern there. So much so he plans to kill her, because she's such an unbearable, dehumanizing shrew. But he changes his mind when she does die, leaving their daughter devastated. The first story of Darkness, the Black Cap, is more of the usual Šlejhar. A poor weaving family, living isolated from their neighbors, as their members start dying one by one, until the last surviving daughter, already barely existing in the world of the living as is, proceeds to free the Black Cap captured by her late father for entertainment, and then goes to drown herself, her body discovered by the anonymous narrator. The Accident of the Messiah, from the life of the lowest and the unknown, has a man, so proud of his wonderful horse he names him Messiah, spend months trying to heal his limping foot before running off to freeze to death to avoid being there when they take the horse away to beat him to death. Disaster has the narrator view the violent uprooting and felling of an old venerable tree, which is then followed by a plague descending onto the farm, slowly but surely killing off every single animal one by one, no matter how much they run, scream, and panic, and no matter how much the much-indebted farmer woman cries and prays, being already ruined by the sudden death of her prize bull, whose sale was meant to save her farm, until she herself is carried off dead. Have a Rest is the life story of a poor woman who had to rebuild her house twice due to fire and flooding, and whose entire cattle shed died out during a plague. She always rebuilds, but she torments her husband for decades, not even buying him shoes, having him always hungry and working him day and night, on the field and behind the loom, until when he can no longer work, she purposefully lets him starve to death.